before Overwatch 2 came out, there were theories that Overwatch would make a Battle Royale. But how would that go? The most simplistic way would be to do it exactly like what Apex does, and just make it so you choose a hero at the beginning, and when you land, you search for weapons and weapon upgrades. But I think that would be a bit boring. Instead, I would do it closer to Fortnite, where everyone starts as the same character, and you unlock the abilities and guns as you go. First things first, the maps would be New Junk City or Suravasa, as they are much bigger maps where you can go in different directions rather than just one linear path. The only small issue that I see is the skybox. This can be fixed by turning off player collision in the workshop, but then they'd be able to go through buildings if the buildings go through the skybox. So I'm not sure how I'd fix that, since in the workshop it's a little bit harder to detect that without manually doing it. Maybe the best answer would be to have the dropship be very close to the ground and never go through buildings or the skybox. This is so you'd never need to disable collision. Also, I probably should have mentioned this. I am talking about the Overwatch Workshop and how I would make it in there, since we do not have outside sources to mod the game of Overwatch. In my opinion, the default character should be Mercy, as Mercy's resurrection would be a bit too strong in-game, so since she will be the default character, all of her abilities will be disabled. However, you could actually use her glide out of the dropship to get a better spawn location, which would be pretty cool. And if we really want to, we can have Mercy start with her pistol if starting with no weapon is too unbalanced. Next up, let's talk about what loot would be on the ground. If we were able to modify heroes, we could let any weapon or ability be on any hero. But since we can't do that, we either have to make our own abilities, or make an upgrade system using the heroes. Some Overwatch abilities I think would be too strong on any hero, so I will be going with the hero upgrade system, even though I'd rather do the other way around. I think it would be really cool if you had to find the abilities, like let's say if you find a Symmetra turret, you can use Symmetra's turrets. But sadly, that would be a bit too complicated. However, it would be doable, because you could use dummy bots, have them be invisible, and then they could use the abilities for you. But since we are going to the upgrade systems, let's meet these funny little circles. Think of these circles like ammo types from Apex. There's light, heavy, sniper, energy, and shotgun. I will also be making my own new classes, since I do think a few heroes do not fit into these classes. For example, there will be something called a special ammo, which will have stuff like arrows or knives or Sigma's little balls. So I will classify those as special ammo. And before you question why I put certain heroes in certain classes, it is completely based off of what bullets they shoot from their gun. As an example, first up for the light classes, we have Bastion, Lifeweaver, Maga, Ramatra, Sombra, and Hammond. All of these heroes have low damage but tons of bullets, so I put them in the light ammo. Light ammo should also be the most common class, since they need so many bullets for their guns. Technically in Overwatch you have infinite ammo, as in you have infinite clips that you can reload with, but in a Battle Royale, ammo would probably be limited, and I haven't gotten to this yet, but I would nerf the healing, just so you'll have to do some ammo management without the healing being too overpowered. Or maybe healing would take a lot of ammo, who knows? We'll get to that when we get to the specifics of the Battle Royale. Next up for the heavy classes, we have Baptiste, Iari, Sojourn, Soldier 76, Torbjorn, and Zenyatta. I gave Soldier and Sojourn heavy ammo since their guns are kind of like the flatline from Apex. I gave Baptiste heavy ammo since it's kind of like the Prowler, which I think is in the care package right now, but it used to be heavy. Torbjorn reminds me of the Repeater, which can switch firing modes. Zenyatta reminds me of the Rampage since he can charge the attacks. And the Iari I just didn't want to put in Sniper or Energy, so I put her here. This is the one that I would probably change if I had a better place for her. Next up for the Sniper classes, we have Ana, Ashe, Cassidy, and Widowmaker. I have Ana, Ashe, and Widowmaker as sniper ammo, since they are considered snipers, and Cassidy I gave sniper ammo since the Wingman from Apex is a sniper ammo weapon. For the energy classes, we have Echo, Lucio, Symmetra, Winston, and Zarya. Lucio, Symmetra, Winston, and Zarya don't really fit into any categories, but they have energy-like weapons, if you know what I mean, so I put them in the energy class. And as for Echo, her primary fire reminds me of the triple take from Apex, which is an energy weapon. Her beams also kind of look energy-like, so I kept it. For the shotguns, we have Doomfist, Junker Queen, Reaper, and Roadhog. All of them have shotguns, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And for the special classes, we have Genji, Hanzo, Kiriko, and Sigma. Genji, Hanzo, Kiriko, and Sigma, they have odd projectiles, so they are special. This was like when the Bocek had arrows on the ground, which was the whole reason that I made the special class. It was because I thought, hey, Hanzo has a bow, the Bocek had special ammo, so I'm going to make him have his own unique ammo. And then I thought, hey, Kiriko and Genji and Sigma, they have weird ammo, so I'll just put them in with Hanzo. You also may have realized that some heroes were not mentioned so far, and that is because I made a new class called the Destruction class, which involves Brigitte, Junkrat, Pharah, and Reinhardt. The Destruction class has explosives like Rat and Pharah, while Brig and Ryan are melee classes that just destroy stuff. You may have noticed that I didn't place D.Va, Mei, Moira, or Orisa. Mei is kind of like the car SMG and is available with heavy and light ammo just like it. While D.Va, Moira, and Orisa kind of have infinite ammo, Orisa just has a weird version of it. So I made them the 3 care package weapons. If I was actually doing a serious attempt of making Overwatch into a Battle Royale, I would definitely move the heroes around because Widowmaker not being a care package weapon would be sort of busted, so tell me how you'd balance it down in the comments. However, just to keep stuff simple for now, because I cannot really change the ammo stuff for D.Va, Orisa, and Moira, they will be the care package weapons. If I was to actually do a serious care package weapon loadout, I would probably do Widowmaker as the Kraber, do Moira as the Volt or PDW depending on what's in the care package right now, I kind of forgot. And then whatever the third one is just whatever we think is overpowered. So I'd probably actually do D.Va because of her ability to have 2 lives kind of. So that would mean that Orisa would probably go into the heavy or energy weapon, kind of like the Devotion I bet. Actually yeah, that's kind of perfect. Maybe Orisa would be like the Devotion. I don't know, we'll see. I want to know what you guys think because I'm not sure about it. Now that we know the classes and how I would organize them, now let me explain how the orbs and classes work. First, you need to find a hero. From there, you get their weapon. Afterwards, you must find orbs of the same class to upgrade your hero. It would be really cool to have multiple weapons and abilities like I said earlier, but that would require mid-battle switching, which would make a little blue dot happen and you can't really see what hero they are, or constant dummy bots spawning in and out. Mid-battle switching just doesn't look very good, while constant dummy bots require me to use the Workshop extension system, which I don't really want to do because it causes some issues and I can't do other extensions that are kind of more cool. Honestly, the whole reason I'm doing the Battle Royale this way is because of the limitations of the Workshop. I was originally gonna make the whole entire game mode in the game, but quite honestly, it takes so much time and most people don't care. So that's why I'm talking about the idea instead and how I would do it if I was to code it. However, one interesting dynamic of doing it this way is that if you have an upgraded hero, it will cost you when you want to switch to another hero. Unless, of course, you choose a hero of the same class. This means that if you are Junker Queen, who is a part of the shotgun class, you can freely switch to anyone with a shotgun if you find them. However, if you switch to someone who is not part of the shotgun class, you will have to start upgrading from the beginning. Real quickly, let's pivot over to the rings. The rings I would probably do the same as the other games. However, since there isn't a minimap, you could have a temporary light shaft that just pops up every so often, or maybe you can toggle it. That shows you where the ring will shrink to. Or maybe the ring will just constantly shrink, kind of like the Hunger Games in Minecraft. Something I didn't think about until now is how many players per team. It would probably be like Apex where it is 3 people or below, since you can only have 12 non-bot players, so any more would be too many. From here, we have the basic outline of the Battle Royale. I think that all healing should be nerfed across the board, as I said earlier. Battle Royales are much more about survival, and I think that the stall strategies would be too strong with the healing. This is the same with defensive abilities. And now that I'm thinking about it, I actually don't know how many of the Overwatch heroes would feel good in an Overwatch Battle Royale. Imagine Mirage from Apex just being able to go invisible like Sombra forever. That'd be kinda broken and very unfun. I think most of the heroes would need a small rework to fit in a Battle Royale, which brings up an interesting question. What abilities should get unlocked and in what order? Base kit, you should unlock the primary fire so you can immediately start doing damage. After upgrading once, you go to Tier 1. In Tier 1, you should unlock the secondary fire. However, what happens if your hero doesn't have a secondary fire? In that case, your hero should start on Tier 1. As an example, since Reaper doesn't have a secondary, when you get your first upgrade for him, it will skip to Tier 2. Which Tier 2 will unlock your ability 1, and then Tier 3 will unlock your ability 2, and finally Tier 4 will unlock your ultimate. The only thing we haven't touched yet is on passives. Passive should be unlocked at Tier 0, except I would nuke Sombra's passive. Sombra would be very problematic in a Battle Royale, so let's just say your interact key would make her go invisible for 5 seconds. I don't know. As for Widow, I would make it so she no longer one-shots a 200 HP hero. This seems very bad for her, and I agree. I would then buff her fire rate so she's closer to Ashe. However, the alternative and the idea I like better is that she would go into the care package as a weapon. However, typically there's only 3 care package weapons, so that's why I didn't. However, realistically, she's a care package weapon. But if I was to have her be ground loot, she wouldn't one-shot 200 HP heroes, and she would be closer to Ashe. Heck, maybe with less healing, she'd still be viable, even without her one-shot. Also, when you get down in the Overwatch Battle Royale, I would want to make it so it's just like Apex. You crawl around with a little shield, and this will give you a chance to get revived. You unfortunately cannot make custom shields in Overwatch, so I'd probably just knock you down, and you better pray you survive. Maybe I could do this little system where you kind of like jump in the direction you're looking. I think that'd be kind of funny. However, if I actually turn my brain on, I'd probably want it to be exactly like Apex or Fortnite. I just thought it would be funny to have you just bouncing around as a frog when you're down. Respawn beacons would also need to be around the map to let you respawn teammates, which actually, now that I'm mentioning reviving and respawning, what if I gave Sombra Mirage's passive from Apex? I like this solution better than giving her a fourth ability. Also, for those of you who don't know, Mirage's passive from Apex makes it so when you do an action like reviving, you're invisible, and I think that's a good middle ground. I don't know if there are any other heroes that would need major changes in a Battle Royale setting, but tell me down below what you think I missed, or what you would change. As I said earlier, I didn't bother making the game mode this time around, since I've been addicted to playing other games recently, and most people don't really care. However, I wanted to talk about this interesting concept I came up with. If this video does well, maybe I will make the full version, but I'm not sure about that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, like and subscribe, and feel free to follow my Twitch if you like stalking me. Anyways, I will see you all later.